Welcome to the 23rd Annual Share Recovery Awards Dinner.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 23rd Annual Share Recovery Awards Dinner. My name's Simon. I'm a radio host on SiriusXM Hits1. It's an honor to be here tonight, and it's an honor to be a part of such an incredible organization like Share that helps to end homelessness in LA. We want to kick things off right tonight. I want to introduce you to one of my best friends who's an incredible singer-songwriter. She's definitely going to be one of the top musicians to watch out for in 2022. Without further ado, here's my girl, Lolo.
Write yourself off yet. It's only in your head if you left out or looked down on. Just try your best, try everything you can, and don't you worry what they tell themselves when you're away. It just takes some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. Hey, you know they're all the same. You know you're doing better on your own, so don't buy in. Live right now, just be yourself. It doesn't matter if it's good enough for someone else. It just takes some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright. It just takes some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright. It just takes some time, little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright.
Welcome to the 23rd Annual Share Recovery Award Dinners. I'm so excited to be here. Make sure to text the word SHARE to 243-725 to donate right now. Have a great night, and I'll see you guys a little bit later.
Ladies and gentlemen, your host for the evening, Brett Taylor.
Thank you, Lolo and Simone. What a great way to start the show. Welcome to the 23rd Annual Share Recovery Awards Dinner. My name is Brett Taylor, and I'm honored to be your host for this evening's award show. I learned about Share. Well, it's what's in a name. Share. I share a personal tidbit about myself, and the person that I was speaking to said, I have some people I want you to meet. Had I not opened my mouth and shared a little bit about my story, my personal story, I wouldn't be here. And it reminds me of how often we want change and we want direction and we're looking for help and guidance. Nobody's going to know unless we share a piece of ourselves, unless we share about our struggles. And I think it's wonderful that Share finds homes and is helping individuals who need it. It gives them a safe environment, you know, to open up and ask for the help that they need. So I love the word. I love Share. Now I'd like to introduce you to 𝗟𝗏, Share board member and president of Sunfair.
Hello everyone and welcome. Thank you for coming this evening. My name is 𝗟𝗏, and I'm the president of Sunfair, a nutritional food business that for over 24 years has been providing meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks to your home. You've all gotten the delivery and you're enjoying a meal prepared by Chef Leo this evening. You've got the herb grilled salmon, Italian chicken parmesan with 𝗟𝗏𝗿𝗄𝗃 sauce, the honey chipotle skirt steak, or the vegan powerhouse enchiladas. I want to welcome you all to this Recovery Awards dinner from 𝗟𝗓. 𝗟𝗓 has been in the community for 20 years. And one of the things that's most important about 𝗟𝗓 is that 41% of the people that come through 𝗟𝗓 and knock on their door get into housing within 24 hours. That's especially important. And one of the things that Sunfair has done is we've teamed up with 𝗟𝗓 and we did some outreach. And in Echo Park 2 months ago, we got 4 people experiencing homelessness off the street. I even hired one of them, and she's working in the kitchen right now as we speak. So I just want to thank all of you for coming and letting you know that we cater to a very diverse group of people. 51% of the people that come through 𝗟𝗓 are African American, and 25% of the people that have mental illness are able to get jobs within 1 year. Not only that, almost 60% of the people stay in 𝗟𝗓 housing rather than and make that their home. So we do wonderful things here, and I just want to let you know that last year we raised over $100,000 at this event. So we're looking to top that, and one of the ways we can do it is by using our Text to Give campaign. You're welcome to text the word 𝗟𝗓 to 243-725. You can make a donation right now, and again, thank you for coming.
Carl, thank you for providing this delicious meal for us this evening. Now, I'd like to introduce you to 𝗟𝗓 Board President Brian Ulf, who does so much for 𝗟𝗓, especially their collaborative housing program.
Good evening. My name is Brian Ulf, and I have had the honor and privilege of serving as 𝗟𝗓's Board President for the past 4 years. Let's thank Lolo for starting us off this evening. Wasn't she fantastic? It was awesome. On behalf of my fellow board members, 𝗟𝗓's executive leadership team, our staff, and volunteers, welcome to the 23rd Annual Recovery Awards Dinner. It's an honor to be with you all tonight. We hope you've enjoyed the delicious meal prepared by board member 𝗟𝗓𝗏 and his company, Sunfair. Thanks, my friend. Carl, you're awesome. Thank you, Brett, for being our host tonight. I'm looking forward to a fabulous evening, as I know everyone else is as well. This is our second virtual Recovery Awards dinner, and tonight we're going to be honoring 4 individuals who bring their talents, gifts, and passion every day to make a difference in the world that we live in. They help so many people, the underserved, people in recovery, trauma survivors, people needing homes and housing, and self-help. Tonight, we're going to honor their contributions to self-help and recovery and provide solutions to house and heal the unsheltered populations that we serve. I'm so proud to be a part of this organization. The past year, our budget has nearly doubled in size, close to almost $7 million. We continued online self-help support groups during the pandemic. We had meetings in person and meetings that hosted 4,794 different meetings. They were attended by 56,497 people. We trained 392 people in our peer training program alone. 𝗟𝗓, including our collaborative housing program, received funding this year from so many new sources at the government level, corporate level, the foundations, and individual levels. And we really helped and housed 478 disabled people and moved them into permanent supportive housing. Word is getting out that 𝗟𝗓 provides a housing solution that changes people's lives. And trust me, it really works. We are truly grateful for our sponsors this evening. Your generosity and support mean the world to us, and we thank you. Now it's time to sit back, continue your meal, and enjoy 𝗟𝗓 Recovery Awards dinner. Tonight, before I go, I want to introduce to you our Executive Director and founder of 𝗟𝗓, Ruth Ullman. She is an amazing person who founded our organization and created a best practices, cost-effective, Housing Now solution to our homeless epidemic. She's extremely talented, and she has an extremely talented leadership staff. Our program director is Jason Robinson. Our program manager is Camille Dennis. Our housing manager is Maria Gonzalez. Our operations manager is Dan Wood, not to mention the over 2,702 volunteers who gave us their time and talents to support the work we do. We are so blessed to have this group of people running this organization, and I really need to tip our hat to all of them. Ladies and gentlemen, please give your attention to our Executive Director, Ruth Holman.
Thank you, Brian. Hi, I'm Ruth. I'm an incest survivor, an angry ACA, a compulsive overeater, a codependent, a sex addict, a grateful Al-Anon, a self-debtor, a member of Recovery International, a mental health consumer, an advanced Toastmaster bronze. I'm in coupleship with my husband, Lou, and I have fibromyalgia. Hi, Ruth. So I want to welcome you to the 2021 Share Recovery Awards. We've got a great program for you tonight, and I hope that you enjoyed your meals and that you stay on to see all of the wonderful people we are honoring this evening. I want to tell you a little bit about Share. Share has continued providing self-help support groups in Los Angeles to everybody during the pandemic, even with all of the difficulties. When the pandemic first hit, we turned all of our meetings onto Zoom, and we were able to not miss a single meeting day and time for our meetings. When we did that, we discovered that people from all over the world started attending our meetings. And because we didn't want to lose them once we reopened, we created hybrid opportunities with projectors and speakers and microphones so that people can attend Share's over 100 meetings a week by in person now or via Zoom from wherever they happen to be. So that's been one of the positives that came out of the pandemic. Let me tell you a little bit about Share's programs. Our big exciting program at the moment is Share Collaborative Housing. Share Collaborative Housing can house anyone who has a source of income equal to Social Security disability today. We literally house them today. Other programs will take months to house somebody, but because we don't have any barriers towards housing people, they literally move in today in a house that's completely furnished with roommates that provide support to them and a peer bridger who is a staff member from Share who has a history of mental health or substance abuse or homelessness, who has recovered using self-help support groups. And from that, we are able to give people their lives back. So this year, we're on track to house 500 people, even though we are working through the pandemic. On top of that, 26% of our people with serious mental illness who come to us homeless, not stabilized, often still addicted, 26% of them will get jobs within their first year of being with us. At any one time, 43% of the people in our houses have jobs, and this compares with other mental health agencies that have less than 1% of their people with work. So that's our Share Collaborative Housing program. Oh, and I didn't tell you that it costs us $10,000 to get somebody off the street for good, whereas other housing programs cost upwards of $500,000 to get one person off the street. So our flagship programs, the ones that we started with way back when, 28 years ago, are 𝗟𝗂𝗿𝗆 and Share Downtown. And they're self-help centers where we have, 𝗟𝗂𝗿𝗆 has 6 meeting rooms, Downtown has 5 meeting rooms, and we have meetings that meet all day, every day, 365 days a year. Because when I needed a meeting on Christmas and I went to a Jewish temple where my ACA meeting was supposed to be meeting and it wasn't meeting because it was Christmas, that meeting was more important to me on Christmas than any other meeting I went to during the year, because it was then that I couldn't be with my family of origin. And the 6 or 7 people who met me there, we all needed that meeting. And that's why the Share self-help centers are open 365 days a year, and we're open until 10 o'clock at Culver City and 9:30 p.m. at Downtown, because that's when people can get to meetings, particularly if they've gotten on with their lives and are employed and paying taxes. Share is also the self-help clearinghouse or referral service for Los Angeles County. So we keep track of 12,000 self-help support groups, and we do referrals to them every day. On top of that, we also have the Share Recovery Retreat in Monterey Park, which has been closed for COVID, but we expect to get open again soon. And we just got a grant to establish a new Share Recovery Retreat in the San Fernando Valley. So what the Share Recovery Retreats do is we take people who have mental health issues and we give them essentially a boot camp to get into recovery. So they come in and they have to do everything themselves. One of the things that happens in traditional mental health treatment is that people are taken away their agency. They aren't allowed to do anything. Other people are supposed to do it all for them. So at the recovery retreats, we give each of them $4 a day to eat. And very quickly they discover that if they eat together with everyone together, that costs less, and they have to come up with their menu, who's going to cook, who's going to clean up, all of those things. So they learn how to budget, they learn how to cook, they learn how to get along with other people, and they go to self-help support groups all over the county, wherever they live. We take them there that night, and so that they can create that social network that will make their life better and make it so they never have to fall back onto government subsidies again. Share also is doing a lot of training these days. The Advanced Peer Specialist training, Share is training peer workers up and down California in evidence-based practices that work in terms of getting people to a different place. That's one of the things that Share really prides ourselves on, is that we keep track of all of the research coming out, and we work with researchers so that we know what works, and we also use our own experience to tell us what works. And with that, we're able to get people back on track in their lives much, much quicker. We also have an employment program we call Volunteer to Job, where we give anyone who wants one a volunteer job at Share, and we help them gain confidence. We have them learn skills towards the job that they actually want, rather than, you can only do food service or landscaping or janitorial work. We look for the job that they want to do, and we figure out how to give them a path to get that job. And they do. It's really incredible. In fact, we have a joint program going on in Southeast Los Angeles at the moment, where we were to house 80 people and get 80% of them into jobs. And what we've been able to accomplish, and that's over a full year, and we're not at a full year yet, and we have housed 116 people, and 63 of them already have jobs. And these are jobs that are good paying and ones that they want to do, not just a job that they can go to and not have meaning in their lives. So those are SHARE's programs, and we are so happy that you're here tonight supporting SHARE and its programs and the 30,000 people that we reach each year at SHARE. So Jude Duran is receiving the outstanding contributions to support groups for minority communities because of all the work that he has done with the gay community and self-help support groups. John had a very tough Halloween in 1996. He was in New Orleans. He left his hotel to go drinking. He got into a fight and got kicked out of the bar, and he found himself passed out on the street, waking up the next morning, but he couldn't stop drinking. In fact, he drank 4 more days because he was so afraid of what his hangover would be like if he stopped drinking. So on November 5th, 1996, he was waiting in line at a club when he said a 3-word prayer that's familiar to alcoholics. God, help me. He got out of line and called a friend he knew who attended Alcoholics Anonymous, and that friend took him to his first AA meeting, and John hasn't had a drink since. Instead, he's dedicated his life to service in the gay community and supporting those struggling with addiction. As a city councilman in the city of West Hollywood for 20 years, John held 7 town hall meetings on crystal meth addiction. He increased the budget for fighting addiction 4 times. He served on the board of directors for Van Ness Recovery House. He found a permanent home for the West Hollywood Recovery Center, which serves 8,000 people each month who are seeking recovery. He also spearheaded the preservation of the log cabin, which is a 100-year-old rustic cabin that the Boy Scouts built way back in the 1920s, and that has been housing recovery meetings for years. John persuaded the city of West Hollywood that recovery meeting centers were worth more to the community than what developers would pay for prime space on Robertson Boulevard. He has established spaces for self-help support groups to carry the message of recovery to generations to come. And here to present the Ron Simmons and Reverend Ronald Wright Award for outstanding contribution to support groups in minority communities is Ron Simmons.
Hello, my name is Dr. Ron Simmons, the co-founder of Free in One Drug and Alcohol Program. It is my sincere pleasure to award the Dr. Ron Simmons Reverend Ron Wright Award for outstanding contributions to support group participations by minority communities to the Honorable Jude Duran. Thank you, John, for the service you provided for our community.
Thank you, Ron, and thank you, SHARE, for this award, and thank you for the work that you do all year round, from recovery to housing to job training and taking care of so many members of our community. It's really great to be part of tonight's program. So, I resisted when I was first offered this award, and I'm going to show you why. Look, I'm going to just turn my computer over. Those are all the awards I have. Like, I have a whole shelf full of like glass and other deadly weapons I can use on people that I've acquired over the years, and I didn't need another award. But when I was told the reason was because of what I did for the Recovery Center and the log cabin, I had to rethink, and here's why. So I want to just talk to the people in recovery who are in the room or watching. 25 years ago, my heart was broken because of all the friends I lost in the AIDS epidemic. I was soulless. I was distraught. I was sad. I was angry. I felt empty inside. And I had run to the end of the road with alcohol and drugs. And didn't know how to put myself together, but walked into a 12-step room of recovery and have been there ever since, 25 years now, clean and sober. That shelf of awards I just showed you, none of them would have been possible without recovery. And none of them seemed possible when I walked in to the 12-step rooms 25 years ago. So if you're feeling hurt or hopeless or sad or empty, welcome to recovery, and welcome to the 12 steps. And find your tribe, find your posse to run with. Even though I know this is all about self-help programs, I have to tell you, if I had to rely on self-help, I would have failed. And the first word in the first step is we. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol and drugs, that our lives had become unmanageable. If that's you, welcome. You never have to drink or use again. And slowly and surely, outside help, 12-step meetings, getting commitments, being of service, rebuilding myself, I was able to give back to my community what had been so freely given to me. So if you're in the room and you're listening and you're thinking, I just can't stop using drugs or drinking, you can't. But one day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time. And all of a sudden, here I am with over 9,000 one days at a time, receiving this award this afternoon. And I'm so grateful for the life that has been restored to me because of my higher power, which I call God, because of my sponsor, and because of my friends in the 12-step meeting rooms who I rely upon daily to keep me on the right path. So congratulations to Cher. Congratulations to all the other awardees. And like I said, if you're struggling with alcohol and drugs, there is a solution. There is hope. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, John. Now let's hear from a special someone who's going to tell us a little about how Cher has impacted their life.
When I came to Cher, I was 19. I'd been homeless for a significant majority of my life. I'd never been in any sort of sober living or assisted housing. Cher was great because the peer bridges really made an effort to understand me, helped me figure out my goals as a young adult, and made sure I was progressing to what I wanted to work on. My peer bridger when I came to Cher was Billy, an extremely intelligent individual who really helped me through a lot of mental issues I was going through, talked to me about relationships, and really made an effort to assist me in finding work, enrolling in school, and figuring out what goals I wanted with my life. I met Cher through Safe Place for Youth in Venice, where I finally started working, and I wanted to find a place where I could at least rent a room. I first moved to Long Beach in 2019, and I lived there for a year while I was saving up going to school until I had earned enough where I could get my own place in Long Beach as well, where I lived and I'm enrolled in Long Beach City College. Totally speaking from the heart, that was my favorite part about Cher, was just the amazing mentors and peer bridges that I had. They were all people that had had their own experiences. They're all people that I could connect with. My peer bridger was a great mentor for me and was very supportive of me, taught me a lot and helped me stay on track with my goals until I was able to have my own housing and find employment and enroll in school very grateful for SHARE and their amazing peer bridgers, and I hope they can help other people as well.
Thank you for sharing your story with us. SHARE changes people's lives. Now, let's welcome back Ruth.
The 2021 𝗟𝘂𝗿𝗏 Award for Outstanding Contribution to Recovery goes to Constance Gilkie. Constance's father was in the military, and he moved the family from Alabama to Alaska. In those days, if you asked for a deployment in Alaska, you for sure got it. So Constance grew up in Alaska. It took her years before she understood why her father had done that. And it was because he didn't want to raise his kids in the South, where discrimination and prejudice was rampant. As an adult, Constance visited a friend in California, and she was really impressed that they were able to eat outside after dark, something that you just could not do in Alaska. A few years later, Constance moved to Long Beach, and a few years after that, she found herself homeless as a result of her mental health issues. Luckily, she wasn't homeless long. She got the help she needed, and she decided she wanted to give back. So Constance established Transformational Living Homes, TLH, a nonprofit, in 2007, which was based on her lived experiences with the challenges of recovery from addiction and homelessness. Constance learned about SHARE collaborative housing, and with SHARE's help, she learned how to run what they call shared recovery housing, using evidence-based practices, including referring everybody to self-help support groups, to give them a social network and tools for living so that they could be successful in life. Then Constance went to work. After starting in 2007 in a small condo with 3 bedrooms, Transformational Living Homes, or TLH, has now 135 beds and provides people with assistance with obtaining services from many social service agencies in Long Beach and Los Angeles County. TLH helps people get their lives together after homelessness, mental health issues, substance use, and/or prisons. Thousands of people have benefited from Constance's work, and she is not done yet. Here to present the 𝗟𝘂𝗿𝗏 Award for Outstanding Contribution to Recovery to Constance Gilkie is 𝗟𝘂𝗿𝗏𝗁.
I'm 𝗟𝘂𝗿𝗏𝗁, and I'm very pleased to be presenting my award for Outstanding Contributions to Recovery to Constance Gilkie. Constance, I'm so impressed with your commitment to serving unhoused people and bringing them into the recovery community. Congratulations.
Ruth and SHARE Collaborative Housing, I would like to thank you for this award. I am truly honored and deeply moved. I'm humbled. I was raised in Alaska by a military family where I lived and graduated from college. In my earlier adulthood, I struggled with substance abuse, which fueled mental health challenges. The struggle in and out of sobriety lasted close to 30 years. And then I was able to figure out a formula for success. And that was to build a safe family-style environment which builds a foundation for staying sober. This is when Transformational Living Homes was born. It was born out of a 3-bedroom condo. I was introduced to SHARE with a mentor, Althea McMurrin, who's now a board member. And with SHARE, they taught me how to create an environment for a successful housing model. Through SHARE, I also learned there was a greater need. There were those suffering from homelessness, the LGBTQ community, people coming out of incarceration. We turn no one away. We additionally have grown to offer full wraparound services. We have SHARE prayer bridges that come to our homes to support our clients. SHARE also offers homeowners meetings where we can come together and support each other. And they're a one-stop shop for the 12-step programs that support our clients in our homes. I look back past over the 15 years with 2 decades of recovery. TLH has grown to 130 beds, partnering with many agencies throughout Long Beach and Los Angeles. We have the 𝗟𝗏𝗍𝗂𝗍 Foundation, 𝗟𝗂𝗿𝗏𝗍𝗆, Divine Health Care Services, Long Beach City Council, Home to Employment Program, LA County Sober Living Coalition. The list goes on. In closing, I would like to thank my staff and the volunteers here at TLH, and I know they're as passionate as I am about helping those in need. And I could have not done this and to continue to do this at this magnitude with the continuing support of SHARE Collaborative Housing.
Congratulations, Constance. Now let's hear from someone else who has benefited from SHARE's programs.
Hi, my name is 𝗔𝗵𝗍𝗏𝗧 Sanchez, and my story is that I was in my addiction. I was sleeping on the side of a library in San Pedro, California, and I was either going to die or I had to save my life, so I chose to save my life. And so I put myself in a detox in Long Beach, and I did that for 14 days, and then I went to a rehab, which was called Changing Spirits in Long Beach. And then after that, I did my 6 months, and I didn't want to leave. I loved it that much. And then I went to Sober Living, and I accomplished another 6 months there. And then I went to the Vets campus in Long Beach. I did 4 months there. And then from there, I found this place. And it's amazing here. I have peace here. And the SHARE program, I really love it. I have a job today. I'm clean and sober. February 7th will be 2 years. And I stopped smoking cigarettes when I moved here. And I go to work. And I'm happy. I'm very happy. And I have to give thanks to Tom, Amberlyn, and to Elizabeth. And Elizabeth was the one who found me a job and went beyond to help me. And I'm grateful for all of you guys at SHARE. And I have peace here, and I'm happy. And I just have good things to say about you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing with us. Your story is inspiring. SHARE's work is inspiring. And now, recording artist and philanthropist Laura Angelini will perform her single, Share That Love, What the World Needs Now Is Love, that reached number 36 on the Billboard Top 40 Dance Club charts.
Hi, I hope you've enjoyed my latest single. I'm Laura Angelini, and I'm delighted to be here with you tonight as we raise money to support SHARE's programs. Their successful collaborative housing program finds homes for LA's neediest. I hope you'll share that love with me by taking out your phones and texting the word SHARE to 243-725. Let's all support SHARE. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura, for an incredible performance. Now, let's welcome back Ruth.
The Ken Shanlaw Award is given for outstanding contribution to sobriety. This year's recipient is Courtneyfriel. Courtneyfriel was a very shy, withdrawn girl in school, and that attracted bullies who bullied her, and they wouldn't stop. What she discovered was alcohol made her no longer shy, and she became a party girl and loved doing interviews with a bottle of liquor when she was drinking with all of her friends. So because she was really interested in television news. By 21, Courtney thought that having liver damage from drinking too much and having other organ damage from cocaine and downers was a sign of accomplishment. Despite her continued use of drugs and alcohol, her career as a newscaster took off. At 23, Courtney became the main primetime news anchor on the only channel in a town in Tennessee. She was eventually hired by Fox News, where she became the newsreader on Fox and Friends Weekend. After 6 years at Fox, her life of drinking and using finally caught up with her. Following a binge on pills and booze, her family and friends were unable to wake her up and thought she had OD'd. When she finally did wake up, she agreed to go to rehab and has been sober ever since. So in sobriety, Courtney joined KTLA as the weekend news anchor. She's open about her life in sobriety and uses social media to get the word out that sobriety can be fun and fabulous. The topics of her outreach include dancing sober, dating sober, being a mom sober, and being sexy sober. In 2017, she held a fundraiser fashion show called Sexy Sober Sunday to help women see that they can be beautiful and desirable without drugs and alcohol. Courtney's book, Tonight at 10, Kicking Booze and Breaking News, presents her story of living in sobriety and how she makes it work one day at a time and still have a blast. And the book is really great. I've read it, and it's one of the best sobriety books that I know, and I highly recommend it to you all. That's Tonight at 10, Kicking Booze and Breaking News by Courtneyfriel. Here to present the 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝗏 Award for Outstanding Contribution to Sobriety is Dr. Tricia Roth, a longtime friend of 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝗏.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Tricia Roth, and I'm here to present the 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝗏 Award to Courtneyfriel of the Share Recovery Awards. I was a friend of Ken's, and I know he would be so honored for the work that you've done, Courtney. I'm very grateful, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Hi, and thank you so much to the organizers at Share for honoring me with this award for being a leader in the world of recovery. I am so delighted to be recognized by a group that is doing so much great work in Los Angeles, catching people who are falling through the cracks and providing them a safe place to get support. Addiction is not a subject that everyone wants to talk about or get involved with. For a long time, I even had people in my life suggesting I not be so public about my sober journey. But I am so proud of it and love sharing my story on my social media. And I wrote my book, Tonight at 10, Kicking Booze and Breaking News, so that I can help people who are struggling. I had a 15-year party career where I drank every day and did tons of cocaine and pills as well. And now I live a wonderful, exciting life without mind-altering substances. Quitting, going to rehab, and the early years were definitely not easy, but it is so worth it if you can stick with it. And I try to show people how they can still have fun sober, considering that is the main reasons, or one of them, that people usually don't want to stop drinking. I hope that you will all donate to the Share organization because they are doing way more than me in this space and with all sorts of mental disorders too, and they need your help. Again, I am so flattered to be given this Share Recovery Award. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a great night.
Congratulations, Courtney. And now let's welcome back Brian.
This next award is very special to me. Last year, I was asked if I would be willing to honor my dad and give out an award for corporate leadership. My family and I were thrilled. I'll do my best not to cry this year like I did last year. Anyway, back in 1982, my dad was elected president of the Los Angeles Rotary Club, where their motto was service above self. And for the next 35 years, my dad lived those words to the very core of his soul. Until his untimely death 5 years ago, he continued to serve his community on the following boards and institutions. He served over 20 years as a director of the YMCA of Metropolitan Los Angeles, a director of the Autry Museum of American West, a board chair of the Ralph Parsons Foundation, vice chair of the Music Center. He was appointed by Governor Pete Wilson to serve 2 4-year terms as a commissioner of the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. He was also the chairman of the 100 Club of Los Angeles and the 21 Fund. Until his death, he continued to serve as an active trustee at Pomona College and the board of the USC Marshall School of Business. My dad was also very successful in his corporate financial business world. He founded 3 financial advisory firms and was named president and CEO of U.S. Trust Company of California and was the founder and chairman of Covington Capital Management. Lastly, my father was a person of great faith, and he served San Marino Community Church as an elder, deacon, and trustee. And on the side note, he was always there for his family, and he coached every Little League game I ever played in. And he never missed a Little League softball, basketball, football, or soccer game that his grandchildren played in either. I miss my dad a lot, and we keep his memory alive with this award. So on behalf of my entire family and on behalf of SHARE, it's a great honor to present the Franklin E. Ulf Corporate Leadership Award to a true leader in Los Angeles corporate world who also happens to be one of my dear friends, Louis C. Horne. When I chose Lou to receive the Corporate Leadership Award, I immediately knew I had the right guy because Lou's contributions to our community is as good as it gets. Just to name a few, and I mean a few roles he plays. Lou is the co-chair of the Central City Association's Homeless Initiative. He's the past chair of LA County Economic Development Corporation. He's a board member on the LA Chamber of Commerce, the CEO Council and the LA Council, the World Trade Corporation, the Catholic Big Brothers and Big Sisters, the Caruso Catholic Center, and the 𝗕𝗕𝗴𝗏 Mental Service Board. In his spare time, Lou is the president and advisory services in Greater Los Angeles, Orange County, and Inland Empire, one of CBRE's largest and most important regions in the United States. All that aside, I really chose Lou because of his amazing heart, which ignites his daily passion, which is based on his past and personal family experiences. These experiences have allowed him to continue his unwavering commitment to find proven solutions that actually work, like SHARE and SHARE Collaborative Housing Model. It's my pleasure to introduce you to my good friend and the 2022 recipient of the Franklin E. Ulf Corporate Leadership Award, Lou Horne.
Thank you, Brian. And Brian, I'm humbled and honored to accept this award named after your late father, Frank. Also, thank you to the SHARE organization by recognizing so many other incredible people here tonight. Being here tonight to accept this award in memory of Brian's father has reinforced my passion to support the positive and long-term impact that SHARE is making on a day-to-day basis. Last October, I had the opportunity to spend the afternoon with Brian touring the SHARE organization in Culver City, and I was inspired by the difference this organization is making. I was moved by the passion and the pride that Brian expressed as we toured through the facility, meeting both staff and the individuals who were there. What was clear to me during this tour was the impact that this group is making with limited resources. Through systematic meetings, mentoring, this organization has impacted more than 60,000 people and hosted and housed 500 people in 1 year alone. An accomplishment extraordinary by any measure. Now, I'd like to offer 2 of my own perspectives on mental health and homelessness issues we face in our community from a personal and professional point of view. So my perspective as an individual, 19 years ago, my 15-year-old son fell into a depression after the loss of a grandparent and the breakup of a girlfriend. He took his life. Up to this point, I thought our family was perfect, and I didn't see it coming, nor did the rest of my family. 2 years after my son died, my brother died in a homeless encampment. He suffered from depression, addiction, and didn't have the tools or the help he needed in order to move forward. So when I hear or see someone who is experiencing homelessness or has a mental health condition, it's personal to me and to my family. Now, my perspective as a professional is a little different. My interest in the mental health and homeless community started after realizing the complete lack of understanding of these communities by leaders in both our private and public sector. I felt like I needed to get involved somehow. 3 years ago, I organized a group to rebuild a database of excess federal, state, county, and city properties that we had identified. We came up with thousands of potential sites for permanent supportive housing. What I've discovered over the last 3 years is that NIMBY's perspectives from our community have limited our ability to properly address the community. If we think that we can neatly confine our growing homelessness and population to the four corners of Skid Row or a few encampments or shelters, we're kidding ourselves. Not only do we need to support the SHARE organization, but we need to take an active role in helping our communities find housing solutions to support organizations that are making a difference like SHARE. Thank you again to SHARE for the great work that you do. I'm honored to accept this award in memory of Brian's father, Frank, a remarkable family leader, philanthropist, man of faith, and a wonderful corporate executive whose legacy will live on forever. Thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Congratulations, Lou. For her second performance this evening, once again, here's Lolo.
Me and all my friends, we're all misunderstood. They say we stand for nothing and there's no way we ever could. Now we see everything that's going wrong with the world and those who lead it. We just feel like we don't have the means to rise above and beat it. So we keep waiting, waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting, waiting on the world to change. It's hard to beat the system when we're standing at a distance. So we keep waiting, waiting on the world to change. Now if we had the power to bring our neighbors home from war, they wouldn't ever miss a Christmas, no more ribbons on their doors. And when you trust the television, what you get is what you got. 'Cause when they own the information, oh, they could bend it all they want. That's why we're waiting, waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting, waiting on the world to change. It's not that we don't care, we just know that the fight ain't fair. So we keep waiting, waiting on the world to change. One day a generation is gonna rule the population. So we keep waiting, waiting on the world to change. Waiting on the world to change, waiting on the world to change.
Thank you so much for an amazing night. Congratulations to all the honorees, and congratulations to SHARE for all the amazing, amazing work that you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lolo, for being with us tonight. We're almost at the end of the show, and throughout the evening, we've celebrated some amazing honorees, and you've learned about the great work SHARE is doing in areas of recovery and self-help support groups, and in helping to end the homeless crisis in Los Angeles County. We've also asked you to support SHARE, and I wanted to let you know how your donations help. $10,000 creates a bed and pays for supportive services for 1.6 residents for a year. $5,000 ensures that a chronically homeless person is never homeless again. $2,500 trains a recovery person for a job as a peer specialist. $1,000 helps a person get a meaningful job that pays a living wage. $500 gets someone into housing right now. $150 pays for the supplies for one person moving into a house. $100 pays to connect residents in community services, including self-help and support groups. $25 connects a potential resident to a homeowner. Your donations will make an immediate impact. Please take out your phones now and text the word SHARE to 243-725 and donate now. Funds raised support SHARE's programs. Thank you so much. Be sure to look for the link to the Zoom after party in the chat to continue the fun. And now some final words from Ruth.
I want to thank all of the 2021 sponsors of the SHARE Recovery Awards. Without their contributions, SHARE wouldn't be able to do this important work. I want to thank all of you for coming to the 2021 SHARE Recovery Awards, and thank our honorees and presenters for being here tonight and lending their names to making this event successful. SHARE's board of directors, I don't know how I would do all of this without you. Thank you, Brian, Charlene, and Carl. Thank you, Michelle, Don, and John. Thank you, Ninan, and Z, and Tawan. Without you, SHARE would not be where we are today, and I really appreciate that. And I'd like to thank everybody who works at SHARE. My staff is so incredibly dedicated and makes SHARE happen every day. I want to give a shout out to Jason Robinson and Camille Dennis and Maria Gonzalez and 𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗏 Hartigan. Without them, we wouldn't be here doing such great work. And of course, everybody that works at SHARE now. Thank you so much. And then I want to thank M3 Development, Mark, Melanie, and Elisa for making this possible and teaching us how to do fundraising, and Elite Productions International, who has done all of the production for this and brought us up to a new level of production, which we really, really appreciate. I want to thank the people who did success stories for us and testimonials, and I want to particularly thank you and hope that you will text to give by texting SHARE, SHARE, to 243-725. That's 243-725. Please text to give and let your friends and family know about SHARE and anybody who can help us on our mission of giving people their lives back through self-help support groups. We're now going to go into our breakout rooms again for the after party. I hope that you'll join us there. And again, thank you so, so much for making this event successful.